Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Guess what? I got another story for you guys. You ready? I'm gonna get you a second to go get your popcorn, go get your snacks, go get your coffee, because girl, boo, boy, I don't know whoever you are watching. Thank you for watching, actually. This is a juicy one. This is a juicy story time. Alright? So I'll get you a second. You got it? You got your snacks? Cool. Alright, so I was just being a regular schmegular, good girl, coming out of work, and this guy was like, hey, we should meet up, and I was like, okay, I got out of work early, so I mean, sure, So, we met up at a Jack in the Box, and for some reason, we couldn't really get to know, in contact with each other. His phone was cutting off, my phone was cutting off. I think it was actually Jesus with me, run, Jenny, run! But then I was like, I haven't been in a date in a minute, So we ended up talking, and then he's like, send me your location, and I didn't know how to do that, so it was just really confusing. And so we met at a Jack in the Box, and we ordered. We went on one car, from my car to his car. We ordered, then we went to go get coffee. He was a gentleman, paid for my meals, paid for everything, really. And after that, we went to a trail and we started walking. And we walked for a while. And I was just like, okay, this guy seems not very interested in me, and I'm just very quiet. I'm really shy. If you met me in real person, I'm really shy. I'm a really shy person. So when you meet me and you get to talk to me, I will talk back, but I'm so yeah, I'm really shy, So we were talking, and then this guy makes a phone call in the middle of us talking and walking. So I'm like, hello? And I didn't find it to be rude, but I was still like, okay, you're next to him, you gotta answer him. There's call, you gotta answer. No option, you gotta answer. So we walked for a little bit after that, and we stumbled across a path where there's a lot of homeless. And so we were just like, oh, maybe we shouldn't walk over here, we don't want to disturb them. And then out of nowhere, this guy comes, and he, I'm talking about the guy that he's over here, and he blows his nose out of nowhere. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't know where he got tissue, and maybe he just needed to blow his nose. No, this guy just goes full on, goes psh, and it just into his hand, and I'm like, okay, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not judging, no judgment for me, And then he goes, and he's keep going, and he's continuing to blow his nose in front of me, and I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, you okay? And then he's like, yeah, let's just keep walking. So then, and he's like, sorry, you probably thought that was really gross, and I'm like, it's fine, it's whatever. So then we find a bench and we sit, and we're walking along, we find a bench and we sit, and he teases me because I'm too short, and I'm like, no big deal, I get teased because of my height all the time. I'm really short. And then he grabs my foot, with his mucus hands, and he's like, wow, you can't even touch the ground. And I was like, yeah, I know, I'm short. And he's like, I like that, that's cute. And I was like, thanks. And it was just really weird, flirting, going back and forth. And I was real uncomfortable because he didn't seem interested in me, and I don't want to be with someone who's not interested, we gotta be connected, if that makes sense. So then as we're sitting there and we're just talking, and we're finally starting to have a conversation that's going somewhere, and this man has to make another call. He doesn't even tell me, hey, wait a second, let me just make this real call real quick. No, he just grabs his phone and makes the call right there and then. I was like, we're in the middle of a conversation. How are you just gonna grab your phone and just call? So he, I can hear it because he's talking in Spanish, and I can hear everything that's going on. And he's and at this point, I'm ready to go. I'm ready. I'm like, dude, third call, second call, third. That's a little too much. If you're not interested, just be adults. Let's just be yo, this isn't working. Let's just end the day here. So then I was like, at this point, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get out of there. So we get to where we parked, and to where his car is, and he's like, hey, you know, go into the car, I'll be right there. Me thinking, you know, hey, this guy's probably just gonna throw away some trash, because we were walking with our coffee, because, you know, we had gotten food, and so I thought, you know, he was gonna throw away the trash and he was just gonna be right back. Tell me why this man got into a random car and told me to wait in his car. And I'm like, okay. So I was just like, maybe, you know, his uncle had to need him for something, and like, I don't know what the calls that they were making. So I was just like, a little weird. And I did hear him make in the last call, like in the third call, he's like, hey, are you at the parking lot that I told you about? And they were like, yeah, I'm here. And then he's like, okay, I'll be there in a little bit. So then I was just like, okay, so I'm in his car and I'm just waiting and I'm scrolling through Instagram. I'm like, I cannot believe this is happening to me. Okay, so I'm waiting in his car for about 12 minutes, and I'm just like, okay, when is this guy gonna come back? Like, I want to go home. I want to go back to my car. Let me go. Let me go, okay? I'm not feeling this day. This isn't working out. So then he comes back and he's like, and he starts putting on his seatbelt. He's like, sorry this took so long. I kept on telling the guy that you were gonna get mad, and so that he can let me go. And I'm like, no, you're fine. And then he comes in and he's like, sorry that took so long. They just wanted some Coke. And I was like, some what? And then he mimics me. He's like, some what? And I'm just like, I'm in shock right now. I'm just like, did you just... And then I didn't know what to say. And like, I'm a very witty person. So I was just like, oh, you're in the business too? And I was just kidding. I was just teasing him. And he's like, yeah. Oh my gosh, are you? And I'm like, no. And so I was like, and then he's like, okay. Well. So then we go to my car, and I'm like, okay. And so I unbuckle my seatbelt. He gets down really fast, and he goes around the car. And he comes and opens my door, and I'm like, oh, what a gentleman, you know, like a normal, you know, gentleman will open my door for me. Thank you, and I very much appreciate it. So then he, and I'm like, oh, hi. And he's like, he gets real close to me, like this close. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, not gonna kiss you, bro. But I didn't say it because I was like, And so he comes in and he reaches for me and he's like grabbing me like a baby, and I'm like, okay. And he puts me gently onto the ground because I was really short, and I'm like, maybe that was like a move that he wanted to play and he wanted to kiss me after. I was like, all right. So I just quickly hug him. I'm like, hey, thank you for the day, you know, I'll see you next time. And then I booked into my car and I was like, no, this is not gonna happen again. This is not gonna happen again. All right, that's story time, and that was the day. There you go, story time completed. I know, out of everybody, this would happen to me. Wow, come on. I know. Anyways, I'm so like flustered, like my cheeks are red. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that post notification button. Go ahead and like and subscribe, please. All right, I will see you guys next time. I love you. Don't forget to love yourselves. God bless you. Ciao. Still recording. Can you believe he did a Coke deal? A Coke deal. Literally, no tiene pena. Like, can you believe it? Qué pena. Like, me in shock. Y él vendiendo droga. Yeah. Alright. Bye, guys.